Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be back here on Dalescenter. I'm your host, Dale Tanhart, and I'm coming to you live from the heart of America. The mic is working this time. Can you believe it? Last episode, which it feels like it's been forever, it's been 2 weeks. Only the third break that I've ever taken from Dalescenter since I started this program back in July of 2022. It was much needed because it cleared the mind. We went out last weekend. We hit a Sam Mayer bet, 18-1, and we hit the ultimate bet of all, and might be the bet of the year. Christopher Buescher, 80-1. He is my hero. He is my savior. And other than the classic Daniel Hemrick's in prison, Ross Chastain is in the if Dale Earnhardt and Brad Keselowski had a baby, that's Ross Chastain. And then Austin Cindric, of course, the longest tenured driver on the wall of Dale, in the worst way possible, is dead to Dale permanently. But all alone today, and it's the first time we've had this in a long time. A driver will be put up on the 401k. Man, I've had problems with this fucking mic arm, dude. There we go. That's going to have to do. Christopher Buescher, welcome for the first time ever to the Dale Tanhart 401k Grand National Champions winners list. Can you see it? There you go. Right there. Let's hear it for motherfucking Christopher Buescher. I need some claps in the chat. Our hero, our savior, and the real Christopher. That is Christopher Buescher. How is everybody doing tonight? As I said, good to be back. A lot of familiar faces back in the chat again. Shake These, Matt Jones, Herb, Scott. There's the Roto Doc. John Little, Mike D, Left Turn, S. Brady, Drake Capel, Taco Todd, Miss Taco Todd. Welcome. Hope you guys having a phenomenal week. SRX is where we're going to start this program off. You see the lines on the bottom of your screen. And we have a green flag for the heats in about an hour from now. Now, I'm going to check one more time. I get a lot of questions about where to bet SRX, where to bet SRX, where do we bet SRX. Typically, you have Caesars and you have Bovada and you have Bet365. This week though, Bet Rivers, I believe, posted odds. I did not get a hold of them. But I'm going to pull up Bet Rivers real quick. Now, it might differ from state to state. We know we've seen that bullshit, and there's nothing we could do about that. There's some states that have it. Some states don't. I don't know why that is. Like, a couple weeks ago, I remember, I think it was the second Stafford race. For some reason, Indiana didn't have SRX on Caesars. Why? I don't know. I don't know why it's like that. But I'm going to check Bet Rivers and see if they've reloaded Caesars. If they've reloaded SRX bets, I don't see them. But if you want to bet on SRX, Bet365, Caesars, Bovada. I've got a little bit of Bovada and a little bit of Caesars. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I hammered the fuck out of Kyle Busch. I did. I want to win tonight, and I think in all actuality, Kyle Busch will win this race. I would bet plus 120, which is available on Caesars and Bovada. I'm sure Bet365 is in the same category. Why don't we find out? Bet365. I'm just going to check it out. We're just going to check it out and see. And the lines on the bottom of your screen are courtesy of Caesars. There's not going to be a lot of discrepancies, I think. Let's see. Other motorsports. There it is. Okay, SRX. To win outright. Kyle Busch plus 120. There you go. That's probably the best you're going to get. Now, Tony Stewart, I grabbed 10-1 on Tony Stewart on Bovada. You can grab 10-1 on Bet365 right now. I think he's 9-1 over on Caesars. Last time I checked, I think that is reflected by the line you see at the bottom of your screen. I'm on Tony Stewart. I think Tony he's just not going to be denied. He's not going to be denied at some point. People are on Casey Kane. You know, I got to say, it's fucking insane. Life is a simulation that I'm literally reading off Johnny Benson Jr. Johnny Benson Jr.'s name on a list of drivers to bet on, right? Life is a simulation. Can you believe that? So weird. Johnny Benson's racing tonight. Really cool. Bring back every single little, baby steps at a time, SRX brings back bits and pieces of my childhood. It's crazy. And yours too, probably. So, Johnny Benson's on here. I'm sure a lot of people in the Garage Guys Discord that you can join in the link below. One of the links below in the Garage Guys Discord. We have discussed Johnny Benson. I've been reading the chatter. Some people are on him. 40 to 1, 50 to 1. I'm looking at 25 to 1 here on Bet365. On Caesars, I think we're still looking at 30 to 1. Let's see when it scrolls by. We'll see when it scrolls by. These lines are, I think, have not moved much since I uploaded them or typed them up. 18 to 1 on Johnny Benson on Caesars. So there you go. More value over on Bet365. But look, I'm on 3 guys. Just cut this plain and simple. I got a lot of money on Kyle Busch. I bet on him twice. I took the plus 120 on Bovada, and I took the plus 150 on Caesars. Now the plus 150 is gone, but I would still bet plus 120 as I did over on Bovada. So I'm on Kyle Busch. I'm on Brad Keselowski, 5 to 1. I think Brad K, his improvement in this race car is clear. It's evident. Remember, he was leading the race last week before he, I guess, got dumped by Kyle Busch. Did he wreck himself? I don't know. Kind of a little bit of both, I guess. But Brad K, compared to his first race in this race car, has made very substantial improvements. He's a good short track racer, and I like the narrative. Somebody mentioned in the Discord, and I literally was thinking the same thing. His driver, Chris Buescher, wins Sunday. Brad K continues the winning streak here at Berlin Raceway. I like Brad K, and I like Tony Stewart for what I said earlier. I think Tony in his own series, eventually he's just not going to be denied, right? Tony has the most experience in this race car out of this entire field. I like Tony Stewart 10 to 1. If the books are going to continue to give us 8 to 1, 10 to 1 on Tony, I will bet it every single week. I don't care about what the 3-lap practice says or the 5-minute practice. I'm going to bet Tony Stewart every time if I can get 8 to 1 or better in his own series. So there you have it. 3 bets in about 30 minutes. About 30 till green flag for Heat 1. I will post the unit allocations typed out in the Garage Guys Discord. Be sure you're in there. If you need it. If the link's not working, you guys let me know. Because Discord pisses me off with this link, man. It's supposed to be a link that never expires, yet it somehow expires. I don't understand it. It pisses me the fuck off. But good vibes only. We got to thank our guy Chris Buescher one more time. Got to get the claps in the chat as we move on into Michigan for the FireKeepers Casino 400. I'm going to move this up just a little bit. We don't want to mess it up. Don't want to mess it up. There we go. Better. All right. So we're going to move on here into the IndyCar Series. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. This is a really, really fun event. I don't know if you guys saw the news, and I heard rumors about this for a while, but IndyCar is making Nashville, the streets of Nashville, its season finale starting in 2024, and it is a revised version of the street course, and it's going to include Broadway. It's going to fucking include Broadway. How crazy is that? That is going to be awesome. That's essentially their spicing it up to compete more with what F1's bringing in Las Vegas, I think. You include Broadway, that's going to be fucking nuts, dude. So really, really cool things happening in the IndyCar Series. As we move ahead, you're going to see on the bottom, or not on the bottom, at the top right of your screen, you're going to see truck lines up in the rundown up here. I know there's no truck series this weekend. I just left it up there by mistake. Don't shit on the rundown line. All right, we make one mistake, it's not the end of the world. But now you see the IndyCar lines on the bottom of your screen for the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. I'll go ahead and tell you guys right now, I love Scotty Mack. If you can get him at 6 to 1 or better, love Scott McLaughlin. He's been great on street courses in 2023. You can get him plus money for a top 3. Love Scotty Mack this weekend, but I'm going to leave it to the expert himself, the Roto Doc himself. Roto Doc, if you're in the chat, the invite is coming your way right now, right this second, and I'm going to get you up in here. Let's see. Got to get the Roto Doc. Boom. We'll turn that on. New link. Copy it. There you go. I just DM'd it to you, Mr. Roto Doc. And we'll get him in here to talk some IndyCar bets, IndyCar knowledge. One of the best IndyCar cappers in the industry. That is the Roto Doc. I realize the music's been on this whole time. That's fine. I'll ask you guys this. We're out of rhythm, obviously, here in Dalescenter. We are out of a little bit of rhythm. Do we like the music on the whole time? Do we like the music the whole time, or do we not? You guys let me know in the chat. I'm just curious. I really don't know. I'm a music guy. When I stream iRacing, now I got to tell you, I don't like this song. This song, what do we listen to? But when I'm streaming iRacing, I got the music on the whole time. But you guys just let me know. You guys let me know what you think about music being on. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in here. He's waiting. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. It's been a couple weeks. Bring back Roto Doc IndyCar bets. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. One of our good friends over at the Action Network. It is the Roto Doc. Are you excited? Did you see this IndyCar news, by the way? I just want to know your thoughts on the IndyCar news for next year, for Nashville.
Big win. Big win. Nashville, they said last year, and obviously it's a 3-year contract, which I think is just the start of something magical for 20-plus years. Kind of like Long Beach Grand Prix has been. So very excited about it. The track layout is pretty wild. I don't know if you've seen the pit road, but looks a lot of fun. And it's going to be opening week of NFL season potentially. So I'm going to have to do my NFL live shows from Nashville because I will be there.
That's going to be crazy. I didn't realize that. It's going to be opening week of the NFL season. Oh, man. Dude, that's... Jesus. Okay, that's going to be wild. All right, let's get right into it. Tell us what you got. I'll just let you start talking. I know. I think we're aligned on the one guy I mentioned before I brought you in here. That is Mr. Scott McLaughlin. Been great on street courses in 2023. I think there's some good opportunity for an outright and some parlay action. Tell me what you think about him and everybody else that you got.
Dude, I love Scott Mack. I was able to grab him 9-1 at Superbook. I don't know why he opened there at 9-1 when he was lower everywhere else.
Hey, time out. Time out. They can't hear you. Hold on. They can't hear you. I don't know why. One second. All right, now talk. Fuck.
All right.
Now talk. See if they can hear you.
So real quick, Nashville, awesome. They're 3-year contract.
All right, I think you're good.
I'm super excited. There we go.
It's been a couple weeks. We got to shake the rust off.
That's right. We gotta kick the dirt off the tires, so to speak. And by the way, congratulations everybody who hit Chris Buescher. I only got him 16-1 top forward, but I'll take it.
That's still good. Still good.
Exactly. You take it. But Scotty Mack right there with you. I got him 9-1 Westgate Superbook. I don't know why he opened that long. Got almost immediately bet down to 7-1. I like you. I'm right there with you. 7, 6.5. Don't mind those numbers at all. He had arguably the best car last year. He certainly dominated the most of the race. Pelot did a little bit on strategy, but and Scotty Mack got set back by a pit stop, but came through still to end up finishing second, even though Scott Dixon won. So there's a lot of different names: Pelot, Dixon, Scotty Mack. But Scotty Mack arguably had the best car in that race. However, the guy I think actually had the best car. Who I think had the best car was Colton Herta last year. The stats won't show it. People won't know it unless they actually dug into the race, watched the race, saw what happened. So I really like Colton Herta to win. I got him 10-1 again at Westgate Superbook. Other Superbook states had him there, like I think 9 or 10-1. But 8.5-1 right now at Bet365. 8.5-1 right now at Barstool. 8.5-1 right now at Caesar Sportsbook. Colton Herta, love that bet. Last year, he didn't get to make a qualifying lap because we had the rain, and he didn't make a qualifying lap. He started 23rd. He was flying through the field. And Dalton Kellett, who was Kyle Kirkwood's teammate last year at AJ Foyt Racing, worst car on the grid, got into an incident with Colton Herta. Colton went a lap down, had to repair some damage, got his lap back, drove all the way through the field up to 5th place. The dude had a rocket ship, and we don't know it because of the race situation. If you just look at finishing position or some of those other things. 2021, the inaugural year of the Music City Grand Prix, Colton Herta dominated the weekend, absolutely crushed it. led the most laps, started on pole, had the best practice times, got shuffled back because of obviously pit stop strategy and a lot of incidents. Nashville's a very high incident, but he had the best car. He was catching Marcus Ericsson for the race win when he wrecked with 6 laps to go, pushing a little too hard. But Colton Herta has had the best car, or arguably the best car, for 2 years in a row. Please bet him at 8.5 to 1. Please, please, please.
Please.
Look at what he's done at street courses this year. Flying through the field at Long Beach. Awesome car at Toronto. Just didn't get to show it because he qualified 14th, again, because of rain. Was very strong at St. Pete. He qualified second, had a run all the way in second until their race fell apart with strategy and then a wreck there. So, if he finishes, he has a very good chance to win. It's just always the question with Colton Herta. Can he finish? Can they avoid bad strategy at Andretti Autosport? So those are 2 of my 3 outrights. Finally, my other outright, Dale. Who else would it be?
Kyle Kirkwood.
Exactly. Kyle Kirkwood, Nashville, match made in heaven. Last year, I had him 60 to 1 top Chevy for Nashville, and he made the second to last restart. The last restart for him in the lead as top Chevy, not counting Joseph Newgarden, who was leading but had to make another pit stop when everybody else was done, and Will Power, who had a malfunctioning car. We knew they weren't going to be top Chevy. So Kyle Kirkwood is actually top, like the true top Chevy on his final restart. Unfortunately, he jumped the start. I disagree with the call. I'm totally willing to admit when he deserves a penalty, but he jumped the start. IndyCar penalized him, set him back behind Scott McLaughlin, who was the obviously best Chevy in that race. And then Kyle Kirkwood was moving through the field, was trying to pass David Malukas, had a wreck, but he was legitimately a top 5 contender, legitimately a top Chevy contender, and that was in that terrible AJ Foyt racing equipment. Now he's with Andretti Autosport. They crush street courses specifically, not the road courses, the natural terrain ones, but the street courses because they're so bumpy, and Andretti Autosport has the best damper package in all of IndyCar. Love Kyle Kirkwood. I would take him 8 to 1 if he's still there. I think he's still 8 to 1 at Caesars or some other books out there. Definitely take Kyle Kirkwood 8 to 1. I got him 10 to 1 early week. If you're in the Action Network Discord, you saw I posted it right away. But love Kyle Kirkwood at the streets.
All right.
Nashville.
Love those. And yeah, I remember Colton Herta. It was 2021 when the books had him closed at like 2 to 1 to win, and he crashed. I think I bet on him that race. Yeah, when Ericsson went airborne. Yep, that was 2021. That was crazy. Ericsson went airborne, thought his car was destroyed, and they just replaced his front wing, and he came back and won the race. Crazy. And then last year was exciting. I had Scotty Mack, who ran second to that was Scott Dixon, right? And that photo finish, yeah, that was painful as well. That was also painful. Anyway, no pain, good vibes only. I like the bets, good value. It seems like looking at all these sportsbook. I got Barstool Sportsbook pulled up right now. Give me a couple props before you sign off of here.
Yeah, let's go Kyle Kirkwood, top Honda at 6 to 1. Right now, his top Honda is plus 250, so I would not bet that. I think it's a little too short. I liked 6 to 1 when his outright was 10 to 1. But if another book somehow, some way, maybe has that, I would look at that. But the one I really like is Andretti Autosport to win plus 350. I think my article dropped on Action Network about 30 minutes ago. I think it got bet down to 3 to 1. Still like it at 3 to 1. But Andretti Autosport to win 3 to 1. We talked about Kirkwood. We talked about Herta. Romain Grosjean again could have won St. Pete. Finished second to Kyle Kirkwood on the streets of Long Beach. He struggled the past couple races, but he's fighting. Absolutely fighting to save his Andretti Autosport career. He's not signed for next year. Things looked really good at the start of the year. A lot of great team chemistry, but Grosjean has had incident after incident. But if he can rein in those incidents, he needs to save his job. He needs to come through with a good race. If you do the math on their individual odds and take those implied probabilities, it comes out longer than 3 to 1. Longer than I should say 350 to 1. Shorter than 351. Not shorter than 3 to 1. I guess you could have bet their individual probabilities, but I think that was back when Kyle was 10, Colton was 850, and Grosjean was whatever. So I still like 3 to 1 Andretti Autosport to win. Alternatively, winning car number 20 to 29 at plus 290 is essentially the same thing. You get 4 Andretti Autosports cars, plus you get Rinus VeeKay and Ryan Hunter-Reay, who are cars number 20 and 21, for an extra 10 cents there. So Big on Andretti Autosport, big on Scotty Mack this week. I'll try to find a way to get on Scott Dixon potentially. But right now, I think the value is mostly on Colton Herta.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. That's the Roto Doc, ladies and gentlemen. Follow him on Twitter. Everything he's got going on the Action Network, the Running Hot podcast, NASCAR betting podcasts, along with the IndyCar bets that he's given out here and that he'll add on to, I'm sure, once we head into the weekend and see some practice time. Roto Doc, always good to see you, my friend. Exciting things happening in the IndyCar series, and good luck on all the bets this weekend.
Yeah, good luck, everyone. It's going to be dude, Nashville's wild. Both races have been wild. If you want an entertaining race, watch Nashville.
Love it. Absolutely love it. We appreciate you, sir. Good luck this weekend. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That's Roto Doc. One of the best IndyCar cappers and NASCAR cappers in the industry, right? And you probably already know that. But I like what he's got. Solid, healthy card, good lines, and lines that you can still get considerably close value to what he got, at the beginning of everything opening up. So love that. Continue to check him out on Twitter, everything he's got going on, and get all the bets you need when it comes to IndyCar. I've been hot and cold on IndyCar betting. I've been so focused on NASCAR. Now we throw SRX in there. I don't bet on IndyCar every single week like I wanted to start the season. So that's why RotoDoc's here, because he's got full confidence. He knows what he's doing. Now you see the Xfinity Series lines on the bottom of your screen. Lines courtesy of Barstool Sportsbook once again. This is an interesting race. I look back to Pocono, and I automatically, first thing that sticks out to me is Josh Berry. I know Ty Gibbs, Ty Gibbs is going to be the favorite, hopping down, the cherry picking, if you will, in that number 19 car. But Josh Berry had blinding speed at Pocono, and I got to think that they may have found something at Junior Motorsports, and Josh Berry has won this race before, driving the number 1 car for Junior Motorsports. Definitely helped him kickstart his career, definitely helped him get a full-time ride in the Xfinity Series, and now a full-time ride in the Cup Series in 2024. But I digress. Josh Berry sticks out to me. If you can find 6-1 on Josh, I think Barstool's got 5.5 plus 550. I don't know. I think I'd bet 6-1 if I could find it. I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm kind of in this purgatory land of, do I want to bet on the Xfinity Series early? Another bet that sticks out to me is Sammy Smith, 12-1. Sammy Smith, awesome at the 1.5 miles. He's been good here before, led laps, almost won. So I like Sammy Smith if we're talking another guy. He's 12-1, 13-1 on most sports books. So I think Sammy Smith is a guy to look after or look to bet before we get some track time this weekend. And I just don't think I can take Ty Gibbs. I don't think I can take John Hunter Nemechek. I don't know if I can pay what they're asking us. And John Hunter at 5-1 isn't terrible, but I'm kind of in this state of purgatory with this race. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about this. I've got one bet I've got one bet parlayed is what I was going to say. I've got one bet parlayed from the Xfinity Series in the Tanhart Triple Crown Parlay, but I'll give you that later when we do reveal the parlay segment. But look, I like Josh Berry. If there's anything I'm betting before, it's Josh Berry. Maybe Sammy Smith. But let me know what you guys think. Yeah, look. All right, I see the chat. What did I say? I said we gotta get the rust out. We gotta get the rust off of here, off the program. Shit happens. All right, I don't know. That has never happened before where RotoDoc's just been quiet. I don't understand that. I don't know why that happened. Don't blame me. Blame Streamlabs, right? It's Streamlabs' fault 100% of the time. The rust is accumulated because of Streamlabs. Fuck Streamlabs. With all due respect. Smoking Joe says Moffitt, one of his best tracks. Just hope his equipment holds up. Interesting. You can get 150, 200-1 on Brett Moffitt. Look, somebody needs to post the Brett Moffitt meme in the Garage Guys Discord if we're going to do this. Because I for the longest time, I was betting Brett Moffitt top 5, like every week. Every week, didn't matter what track. I was like, Brett Moffitt top 5, 12-1, 14-1, 18-1. And it never happened for me. It did happen finally. He got a top 5 of the Chicago Street Course that was like 8% completed. And they're like, yeah, that's an official race. Still makes me mad. Still makes me mad. I'm going to turn the music up. You guys didn't tell me if you wanted music or not. Hold on. What am I listening to? What am I listening to? Just keep it kind of low. We'll just keep it kind of low. But you see the lines on the bottom of your screen, courtesy of Barstool Sportsbook. Look, I learned something last week. I learned something about myself last week. I'll be completely honest. I think the way I was doing Dalescenter, putting too much out there on the line before we had track time, was hurting me. I think it was hurting me. I'd pick these matchups before we'd, in the top plays, hammer these matchups that I'm like, okay, all the stats indicate this is a great bet. And then it would be the exact opposite, or something heartbreaking would happen. I think I learned after I took the 1 week off of doing Dalescenter, overthinking is a huge problem in NASCAR betting. Overthinking, over-research it's not good. It cannot be good. Don't overthink. Go with your gut. Go with your intuition. Use research. But I felt like I was going way too deep, way too early in the weeks on NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, trucks. Once I waited on some track time, shout out to Roto Doc too for his flags data. That helped me out. I think I learned it's not a bad thing to wait until you see track time. Don't feel bad if Tyler Reddick is 12-1, he qualifies on the pole and now he's 6-1, and then you bet on him at 6-1 and he wins, and you win. Don't feel bad that you didn't get, what do they call it, closing line value, whatever the fuck they call it. I don't know. Don't feel bad. A win is a win. Take the win. Don't feel bad that you missed out, right? A lot of people won on Chris Buescher last week. I got 80-1. Some people got 65-1. Some people got 40-1. Some people got 33-1. A win is a win. I feel like there's a thing where, and as a capper, like, we do rush sometimes to hit lines that are advantageous. But don't feel bad if you miss that line. If you hit on a slightly more expensive line, a win is a win. You take that. So I feel like no top plays in this episode because I want to stick with leans. I'm giving you guys the betting leans that I think. I have locked in a few outrights for the Cup Series already. I haven't locked in anything on Xfinity. I got SRX locked in, but SRX is SRX. Totally different. Totally different when it comes to how I sort my betting cards, honestly. But when it comes to NASCAR this weekend, and hell, even IndyCar too, waiting is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Don't overthink. Don't overblow it. Don't put too much out there on the line before you see track time. I think it's very important. So no top plays tonight because I don't. When I do these top plays, typically they're all bets. They're 5 bets that I'm hammering, right? I don't want to do that anymore. I had my best week of the year when I didn't do that. So let's be smart. Let's be smart about this. Let's profit big. I don't know what that was. Thought my roommate had just walked in. Okay, never mind. You guys probably didn't hear that. It's fine. So yeah, I want to know what you guys think. I think Sammy Smith, Josh Berry are the ultimate leans. Ty Gibbs is the defending winner of this race. Chevy and Toyota kind of go back and forth when it comes to who wins. But yeah, I'm just going to stick with that. Maybe we take a look at Brett Moffitt. I don't know. Maybe Brett qualifies really well. Books are still going to undervalue him because he's Brett Moffitt. He's in the 25 car. He's never won an Xfinity Series race. I will take a look, okay? I will take a look. All right, let's see. I'm going to go read you guys' comments. Herp's top 5. Big Country. Austin Hill. Fuck, man. Austin Hill's something else, dude. I don't know how he wins. He's just a really fucking good race car driver. That's how. But it always blows my mind. The Pocono win was almost my downfall. It really was almost my downfall. Hill over Cold Custard at plus money. Okay. Paralysis by analysis, Dale. Wow. Degen Johnny. What a slogan. Paralysis by analysis. That's kind of right. Taco Todd has a Busch win in the SRX, Barry win, Harvick win. A $5 bet would pay $726. I'll go ahead and tell you guys, too, I talked about it on the Garage Guys NASCAR podcast on Tuesday. I'm probably not betting Kevin Harvick this week. If you go back and watch this race last year, Kevin Harvick did not have a winning car. He simply did not have the speed. If you look at all the mile and a halves, all the intermediates, in 2023, Kevin Harvick has not had the speed to win at this kind of racetrack. He has an amazing Michigan resume. He'll probably run in the top 10. But if there's a Ford that has consistently been better than all the other Fords at this style racetrack in an intermediate, a mile and a half, it's been Ryan Blaney. So I really like Ryan Blaney. That's probably going to be my next outright. Blaney's probably going to be my next outright. I just keep staring at it, and I keep staring at it. And I want to bet it, but I also am trying to, like I said, we're trying to take it a little easy, you know. But here's the deal. Ryan Blaney had a rocket ship at Charlotte, obviously won the Coke 600. Then he comes to Pocono, has a top 3, top 5 race car. Literally took, and it's so overshadowed, but Ryan Blaney literally took the lead at Pocono, and then his engine went sour. Excuse me. He dropped a cylinder right after he took the lead. If there's a Ford that I'm going to bet on blindly, it's Ryan Blaney. He's been the Pied Piper of the program at mile and a halves. I'm not crazy about Brad K this week, and I'm not crazy about RFK. They've been decent. You know, Brad K's had his moments. Was good at Charlotte. Was good at Fontana earlier this year with the top 10 there. Had probably a top 5 car at Charlotte, honestly, before he had problems and wrecked himself. But if there's a Ford I'm looking at, it's Ryan Blaney. And I know we're still looking at Xfinity lines. I'll get to it here in a second. I'll read some more parlays, because we do got some parlays later to cover. Degen Johnny. Oh, yeah, I answered this earlier. SRX, you got 3 books, basically. Bet365, Bovada, Caesar Sportsbook. That's your trio in SRX. It's been consistent, at least, on offering odds every single week. Which, by the way, is at 7:30. About to be 7:30. Let me get my unit allocations, get ready to post on the Discord, so you guys can see that. I'll tag everybody who is in the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Discord. Shake these with a Gragson win. You could have gotten him 1,001. Holy shit! I mean, I get it. It's 1,001. That's actually insane. But I mean, just hasn't had the speed. I wouldn't bet it. I just could not bet it. How are we feeling about Creed 30-1? You know, I just hasn't had winning speed at these racetracks in 2023. Just hasn't had the winning speed. You know, fringe top 5, top 10 speed in the car. And that goes with Austin Hill, too. I don't think Austin Hill, he won Vegas and he won Fontana. I don't think he's had winning speed either. But great strategy, great management, phenomenal driving. That's what Austin Hill's done, is steal a couple wins away at a Pocono, at a Vegas. Now, Vegas, he did have a top 3 car for sure. But Chandler Smith gave that one away on the final 2 laps. But look, Michigan, I'm looking at Toyota and Chevy in both series, right? I'm looking at, and when I say Xfinity, Chevy, I'm looking at Junior Motorsports. I'm looking at Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier. Probably not going to bet Allgaier. Allmendinger, is AJ Allmendinger in this race? Is that what I'm reading? The books have not reflected that Ross Chastain's of the 10 car. I think we got to look at Ross Chastain whenever the books decide to update that it's not fucking AJ, right? It's Chastain in the 10 car, right? Am I just crazy? Didn't I see that? And I just realized that the books are showing AJ Allmendinger. Yeah, I think Ross Chastain's worth looking at. But Josh Berry is the ultimate lead over on the Chevy program in Xfinity. And then Toyota, I'm looking at Sammy Smith. McLaughlin win, Moffitt top 5, Jones top 3. Oh, man. I cannot rely on Brandon Jones, man. If Brandon Jones beats me, he beats me at this point. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. If Brandon Jones beats me, he beats me. I cannot bet on this guy. Can't do it. I won't even feel bad. I won't feel bad if I lose because he wins. I won't, because I'll be like, look, what has he done? What has he done? This has been an abysmal year. For a guy that I think is a good race car driver, I think he's just no confidence. None. I think his confidence is killed based off how bad of a season it's been. So I'm not betting on Brandon Jones. There's nothing anybody can convince me in betting on Brandon Jones. All right, I'll keep reading the parlays. Austin Hill just stays in the game lurking, yeah. Austin Hill's similar to William Byron. Like, William Byron's had better race cars, I think, but right place at the right time. William Byron has won a couple races this year because right place at the right time. Really good pit stops. William Byron, I think, has the best pit crew in the series right now, in the Cup Series. And then in the Xfinity Series, who's got the best pit crew? Fucking Austin Hill. That makes a big difference. Austin Hill on pit road gains like 6 spots every single pit stop if he's not up in the top 5. It's crazy how good his pit crew is, just like it's crazy how good William Byron's pit crew has been in 2023 as well. So right place, right time. That is a betting mantra, I think, for some of these guys. I know guys are going to bet on Austin Hill every single race now probably because he's always going to be a little bit undervalued if we're not at a super speedway, and just continuously finds himself in good positioning, right? And there's a lot of characteristics that create that, but ultimately right place, right time. That's Austin Hill. All right, let's get the cup lines up on the screen. Like I said, not feeling a lot for Xfinity. The books haven't even reflected Ross Chastain in the 10 car. Like, what are we doing? Hadn't even reflected it. We're looking at AJ Allmendinger. I don't think AJ's in this race. If I'm wrong, someone correct me, but I'm pretty sure Ross is in that 10 car. We're just going to wait on most of this. Barry, Sammy Smith, we'll talk about it later. We'll see. Odds for the Cup Series. FireKeepers Casino 400, courtesy of Barstool Sportsbook. There's basically 5 drivers that I'm looking at before we get into this weekend. I've already placed outrights on Ross Chastain, 20-1. I'll go and be honest. There's a chance Ross Chastain and Trackhouse are straight ass this weekend. They have been so inconsistent on speed. It's like the racetrack type configuration hasn't mattered. Some weeks are really fast, some weeks are not. I don't get it. But I got to think about last year in this race. Chastain and Suarez had 2 of the best 5 cars in the field. Go back to Fontana earlier this year. Similar, slight bit of correlation. Lower wear at Michigan compared to what Fontana was. But Chastain dominated the whole race. Finished 3rd. Suarez finished 4th, right? So it's a hot and cold thing, right? It's a hot and cold deal with Trackhouse. I think while the lines are in our favor, while they're really, really cheap to get, take a stab. Take a chance on Chastain 20-1 and Suarez 65-1. Both lines are courtesy of Barstool Sportsbook. Both lines have not moved. I think you can find Ross 20-1 on a couple other books like Bet Rivers, maybe DraftKings. There's a chance they come out here and just have that fucking lightning speed that they've had at a lot of 1.5 mile or intermediate racetracks. I think you got to consider a little bit of past history with the program on just having lights out speed at similar racetracks, including this race last year. Chastain and Suarez were in the fight to win, and then Daniel Suarez makes his pit stop, gets lapped, and then Ross Chastain and Christopher Bell crash, and that's what ultimately gave Kevin Harvick the win because he had just come down pit road and caught a lucky caution when Chastain and Christopher Bell made contact. And that same caution completely screwed Daniel Suarez out of this race last year. So I'm just going to take a leap of faith that these guys are going to have speed this weekend. Daniel Suarez, desperation time on the playoff cut line. They had a really bad week last week, really bad week the week before. If they have speed, these guys are going to be aggressive no matter what. And, the other night I was watching, I watch a couple old races outside of like races needed for studying. I watched the 05 Michigan race. That was a fuel mileage race that Jeremy Mayfield won. It was Jeremy Mayfield's last win. It was a good race. And I know we have stages now, so this is unlikely, but you just never know. If you get one timely caution, if we might have a fuel mileage race. You never know. And if we get something like that, the guy that's going to gamble is going to be Daniel Suarez. A guy that's going to gamble, Ross Chastain. But I'm going to bank that they're going to have good race cars. So I'm looking at Trackhouse early, and then I'm looking at 2311. Tyler Reddick, 12-1, is the ultimate bet you got to put down before we get into the weekend. Toyota is on fire right now. I know Chris Buescher won at Richmond. Brad Kay was really fast. But Toyota, especially on these intermediates, has been unbelievably fast. Obviously, Denny Hamlin won Pocono. He also won Kansas earlier this year. But in this summer stretch, last 5, 6, 7, 8 races, Denny Hamlin, 2311, have gotten better and better and better, and they've had more speed. 2311, I think, has more speed now than they've ever had in the history of their program. I know it's only been 2.5 years, but Tyler Reddick, this is right in his wheelhouse. Michigan has not been a great track for him. He's qualified well, but hasn't raced well here. But I think there's a good shot. You go back and look at these 1.5 miles, and not even just 1.5 miles, just anywhere. Tyler Reddick, over the past 5, 6 weeks, has had very consistent speed, front-running speed. Tyler Reddick at 12-1, I think is a great line if you can get it. I think he opened at 14-1. We missed out on that, but look, I almost got $100 on Reddick already. That's my one big bet heading into the weekend. And you got to consider Bubba Wallace because they brought the best car here last year. Bubba Wallace, this has got to be a race he's got circled because this race they gave away due to bad luck primarily because of the yellow that boosted Kevin Harvick, but finished second and had the car to beat. Absolutely had the car to beat. He got the pole, led a lot of laps, was the best car on the long run. I think you got to look at Bubba Wallace. If you can find 15-1, 16-1, also a good bet. I love both 2311 guys this week. So I'm looking at Trackhouse, I'm looking at 2311, and then I'm looking at Ryan Blaney. Talked about Blaney earlier. If there's one Ford that has consistently had the speed at the 1.5 miles at the intermediate racetracks, it's been Ryan Blaney. He won the Coke 600, literally took the lead at Pocono before his engine died, turned into a Dodge Durango from 2003. Ryan Blaney is going to have speed this weekend, and this has been a great track for Blaney. He won here in 2021. He has a lot of top 10s. If it wasn't for his crash with Brad Kay, I think in 2020 or 2021 when they were battling for the lead, Blaney's looking at like 8 top 10s in his last 9 starts at Michigan. The guy's consistent. Maybe look at a top 10 line if you can find a, minus 140, minus 130. I think is good value there for a top 10 bet, which I'll do that real quick. Let's just look. I got the Barstool Sportsbook pulled up. And we don't have a top 10 line. Okay, never mind. You can get a top 10 line on Caesars, Bet Rivers probably. Another thing that sticks out to me? I think if you want a flyer bet, a couple of flyer bets, we talk about Ford being Ford. They hadn't had great speed in the 1.5 miles. Blaney has been the guy. Logano's been hit or miss. Harvick's been hit or miss. Brad Kay's been hit or miss. Austin Cindric, top Ford, 70-1, 80-1. Might be a little bit of a flyer play. Just because he's a teammate of Blaney. It's been a bad year. I talk about aggression with strategy. These guys need a win to get into the playoffs. Never know. Never know if you get that timely yellow. You get track position. You get clean air. He's in a Penske Ford, and he's 70-1 for top Ford. I think Cindric was top Ford at Las Vegas. So it has happened at an intermediate 1.5 mile style track. I think he finished 5th or 6th at Las Vegas and was the top finishing Ford. Consider it. Consider that a big underdog play that I've looked at. Not pulled the trigger on, but have been staring at. You can find Cindric 65, 71, 70-1 for top Ford. The 70-1 line I'm looking at is via Barstool Sportsbook. So that's what I'm looking at. The 5 drivers I'm looking at, I've already got 3 outrights. You can see what I put on them in the link below that takes you to my picks on the Action Network app. I got 3 outrights on Reddick, Chastain, Blaney. Oh, I'm sorry, not Blaney. Blaney is probably the next one. Reddick, Chastain, Suarez. Small unit plays except for Reddick. Take the value while you can on the Trackhouse guys. And I think Tyler Reddick ultimately is like the play of the week. I think he's going to have the best car. I think he's going to be the guy to beat when we unload on Saturday. Let's get right into Chase for the Cup. Back after a couple week hiatus. Garage Guy Chase has a lengthy segment this time around with quite a few bets heading in to Michigan International Speedway weekend. Let's get into it right now. Chase for the Cup with Garage Guy Chase. Oh, shit.
Hello and welcome to Chase for the Cup. I'm Chase Holden, and this is how we're going to chase for cups here on Dalescenter this week. As we go to Michigan, the FireKeepers Casino 400. Michigan is a place where Kid
I know
Rock
the dimensions were messed up.
Michigan
I fixed it.
is also a place where Detroit is. Detroit is also home to where a lot of cars were made. Some may say it's a big-time cars race this weekend with race cars. That's probably true. That sounds very, very realistic now that I've spoken it out loud to you. But we're here to talk about bets. I want to kick things off with some things we already know, some things you don't already know. And, of course, we're going to go into the Dalescenter exclusive bets that I have, which will be a little bit different this week. And, of course, a special part of this segment this week will be on how to create a talisman. Because if you didn't get the memo, we are making Harvick talismans this week. And if you don't do it, you're no better than Voldemort from Harry Potter. So just remember that. We're going to go ahead and start off with the first bet that I made this week. Kevin Harvick, plus 850 over on Cesar's. Listen, when I got this bet, I saw the odds open at plus 850. I knew a lot of people were going to be rushing in. They were going to be wanting to get a piece of that Kevin Harvick. It's great. You can want a piece of the Kevin Harvick all day long. That doesn't mean he's going to win. There's only one way Kevin Harvick wins this week, and it's due to the Harvick talismans. If you were in the Garage Guys Discord, you know all about the Harvick talisman. If you were with us last year, you know how powerful it was when we just used it for a top 5, and then he won 2 weeks in a row. We had a lot of power saved up. So just to get things started, I'm going to put on my wizard shades. Because I am a wizard, I'm a certified wizard. Don't try this at home unless under my instruction. So this week, as you can see right here, Chase, why do you have your crystal on top of 4 cans of Zen? Well, that's because this week, this is my Harvick talisman. This right here is what I'm forcing all of the energy for Kevin Harvick to win the race into. So every day when I look at it, I'm like, Kevin Harvick's going to win this week. And that energy just completely gets force-fed. Now, look. Just for my example alone, you should be able to understand. It don't take nothing for Rodney Childers to pull this phone out and call God. And I'm going to give it back to him this week. He's going to have those abilities. He's going to call God on the trap phone. But a talisman, what can we use, Chase? What can be a talisman for Kevin Harvick for us? How can we help you in this fight so that we can all cash in big? Well, I'm here to save the day. A talisman is an object that you just look at and say something into and believe it and keep it with you for the rest of the week. So starting right now, that's what we'll do. It can be something as small as a poker chip. It can be something as simple as an empty Zen can, like I have used. I use 4 of them for extra power. You can use an electrical light switch. This is a light switch. I got it at a hardware store. Actually, I just found it here at the International Chase Station. It was not connected to anything, but hey, you can use it. You could also use something like an old CD player. If you, used to listen to CDs on the go back before the iPod days, find this thing. Just, Kevin Harvick, he's going to win Michigan. Keep it with you at all times. And for those of you that don't have crazy things like this laying around, go to Taco Bell, get a pack of hot sauce. You can literally just make that your talisman. Keep it in your pocket the rest of the week. Every time you look at it, remind yourself, Kevin Harvick's going to win at Michigan. And if we all do this, he'll win. I'm just telling you right now. I'm telling you what I know. I've seen it. You can ask anybody here. Everyone saw it last year. And there's a lot of you returning here. If you're in the chat right now in Dalescenter, let everybody know it's real. It's real. It happens. You can even ask the Magic 8 Ball if you want to, but I'm not because I'm above that. So let's go ahead and finish out the outrights that I have. Now that you know how to make a talisman and you know that Kevin Harvick's going to win at Michigan, you got to have fail-safes. My fail-safes this week, Chase Elliott, 15-1. On Caesars. I like this bet because I said last week on playback.tv/garageguys, where we watch the races on Sunday, I said I'm going to ride out Chase Elliott until the playoffs start because I believe that he will get in. I just feel like there's too much grit inside of that team I feel like there's too much want and too much need. Plus, the public knows that, like, how can we have playoffs without Chase Elliott in it? NASCAR knows this. It's good for business. It's got to happen, whether it be in a way that we like or not, don't like. I don't know. I've been eating some Chase Elliott chicken tenders. Shout out to Hooters. Shout out to Chase Elliott chicken tenders. You know, I'm going to keep going all in on it. So you can tail it or don't. I don't care. Chase Elliott, 15-1. That one was on Caesars as well. And then I took another bet today based on just some things that I saw from last season and some feelings that I've had. And I've had some feelings about Ford, but I'm also going to be riding Joey Logano 15-1 on Caesars Sportsbook. Look, I haven't bet on Joey in a long time. This just kind of came out of nowhere. It hit me. I checked the statistics. He finished 4th here last year. I feel like there's a race where Penske's going to put something together. It could be here. I talked about betting on Ryan Blaney, but I just, at this point, I'm going to wait and see what happens in practice and qualifying. But I do like the odds on Joey Logano, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a dart at that. So now that you've got my outrights, there's only one other thing you could be here for, and that's the Dalescenter exclusives. So this week on Dalescenter exclusives, I have one top 10 bet for you guys and something that I have not done on Dalescenter exclusives here on Chase for the Cup yet. I have a matchup parlay or 3 matchups that you can tail with me this weekend in Michigan. I've looked around the board. There wasn't a ton that I liked, but I will tell you what I did like right here, right now. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 5-1 for a top 10 on FanDuel. I feel like they're going to turn up the heat. And now for the last bets that I have to give you guys is these matchups. So the matchups I have chosen, they're all on Caesars. I have Stenhouse over Amarola. I am taking Ricky Stenhouse Amarola. It's minus 105. Listen, it might sound risky. It's Bacon Boy. He lets people down. Okay, Ricky, he's either going to wreck or he's going to keep going, but he never lets us down. So that's why I've chosen that one. Next one I have Kyle Busch over Martin Truex Jr. at minus 105. Look, Kyle Busch has been kind of like showing us like he's that dude. You know, we didn't think he was going to do good at a short track last week. They made some changes. They came out. This is an intermediate track. Remember what happened at Auto Club earlier in the year? Just saying. I like this over MTJ. I just feel like Martin Truex his intermediate days have kind of came and gone. He's more of a short track guy now. So that's kind of why I like this one. And plus, I just feel like RCR knows that they got to turn up the heat if they want to have a chance to go deep in the playoffs. They have their opportunity now with Kyle Busch. Let's see what happens. Lastly, for plus odds, the matchup, the rivalry that we all love and like now between two friends that are a little beside themselves on the racetrack, Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. I'm taking Larson over Hamlin at even money in these matchups this week. I feel like Larson is kind of like Michigan King low-key. Like he's had some really good success at this track even earlier in his career. I just feel like Larson will be able to use his skills, his knowledge, think real good, get around this track real good. Hamlin seems like he might be a little bit more of an emotional guy. Kyle Larson seems to be a little bit more like the Terminator at times. So I'm going to go with him. If you parlay all three of these, plus 662 is what your odds will be. So you can take them straight up, parlay them. I don't care. Those are the matchups I have. This has been the Dalescenter exclusives. And this has been Chase for the Cup. Don't forget, make your Harvick talismans. Tag me on Twitter. I want to see them at Garage Guy Chase. I want to see photos of your Harvick talismans. I need to know that we're all on this wave together and we're riding it strong, okay? I don't care what's been said or what's been done. Harvick Talisman Week. It's here. It's happening. Join me for SRX Racing, playback.tv/garage guys. I'll be on here Thursday night. And then Sunday for the big race on NASCAR, playback.tv/garage guys. Yeah. All right. This has been Chase for the Cup. I'm going to see you later.
There you have it. That's Chase for the Cup with Garage Guy Chase. Good to be back. The Garage Guy giving the bets out. And damn it, we never, so after Monday, like we typically just don't discuss bets again until like the weekend. Man, I like that Stenhouse over Almirola bet. I eyed that on Caesars earlier today, and I was like, dude, I love this bet. And I'll simplify. I don't know what Chase said about it. Probably doing his fucking juju, voodoo energy, which has been good recently. It's been working. The garage guy Chase voodoo, whatever he calls it, the stone, it's been working. That's what scares me about Harvick. He's betting on Harvick. He's doing this fucking Harvick talisman shit. And I don't like that because I'm not betting on Harvick. I'm not going to do it. But what I was going to say was Ricky Stenhouse, Eric Almirola. Eric Almirola is in a Stewart-Haas Racing prep race car, a.k.a. lawn mowers at mile and a halfs at intermediates. Ricky Stenhouse is in a Hendrick Motorsports affiliated race car, right? They have a lot of support from Hendrick compared to what they've had in years past. So let's just simplify it. A Hendrick car is an underdog to a Stewart-Haas lawnmower. Yeah, love that play. Love that play. The only thing I'd worry about is Ricky Stenhouse team being really aggressive with strategy, right? Like we see Brad K do that sometimes. Real aggressive with strategy, trying to put himself in position to steal a win away, and then they lose all their track position and don't get a good enough run. They don't get a good run compared to what they did throughout most of the race. Their finish doesn't reflect how good they actually were because they go aggressive on strategy. And that's just the nature of this Cup Series now. Once you get a win, you're in the playoffs, you get aggressive and you try shit. You gamble a lot more. And that's what hurts my confidence in a Stenhouse bet on a head-to-head matchup. But if we're talking raw speed, there's like no doubt in my mind the Stenhouse car will have way more speed than the Almirola Stewart-Haas lawnmower. So I like that play. And we'll see about Chase Elliott. We'll see about Kevin Harvick. I don't know, but it's parlay time. It is parlay time. Give me the parlays before we close this off. SRX starts in 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 7 minutes. So we got to get this parlay segment. We got to get this fucking show on the road ASAP. Show on the road. I need the parlays. You guys have been sending a lot of them already, but resend them. I want to see them keep flowing. We're going to do the poll again. I'm going to take my 3 favorite parlays. The highest voted parlay will be the Dalescenter Community Parlay of the weekend. Highest voted parlay, and I'll go ahead and tell you, if you include SRX, I won't take it because I'm not in a spot where I can do a parlay with SRX right now. Don't want to, honestly, because I don't want my weekend to be ruined based off of SRX when it comes to my parlays. So you see my parlay on the bottom of your screen. This is kind of a friskier one. Scotty Mack, top 5. Reddick over Harvick, a matchup that I really like at plus money. I think similar to Stenhouse Almirola, I think Reddick's going to have a better race car. And you're going to give me plus money. Just don't make mistakes. Reddick, do not make a mistake and you'll win this matchup, I think. Plus money on Caesars. Yeah, I'll put this. And then Josh Berry, top Chevy. Xfinity Series betting on Caesars has become more interesting now because Caesars is giving us manufacturer bets on the Xfinity Series, which this is brand new as of a couple weeks ago, maybe. They won't do top Ford because they know there's fucking 2 or 3 competitive Fords in the whole field, maybe. But they do give us manufacturer bets on top Chevy, top Toyota. In my mind, Josh Berry, look at the speed they brought to Pocono. 1.5 mile speed they've had. Been kind of hot and cold since 2022, but look at wins at Charlotte, Las Vegas in 2022. The guy's due for a win. He should have won Pocono, kind of gave it away in the end. We talked about that earlier. We know how that race went. But Josh Berry, top Chevy, is plus 275. I don't know if I want to bet it outright, but I am willing to parlay it with my other 2 bets here. Reddick over Harvick, Berry top Chevy, and Scotty Mack top 5. That equates to a 17.5 to 1 parlay. A $100 bet would win you $1,750, courtesy of Caesars Sportsbook. That is the Tanhart Triple Crown parlay of the weekend. I like it. I think it's a pretty good parlay. Confidence level, 75-25, I'd say. 75-25. But maybe we can get a better confidence level on what you guys give me. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading them off right now. Kyle Busch. Hey, that's a good point. Real quick, if you're trying to get SRX bets in, real quick, Kyle Busch right now is plus 140 versus the field on Caesars. Why do they do that? Why do they have him plus 120 to win, but plus 140 versus the field? You could bet both. You could probably bet both. It's a little gateway there. So thank you, Brett. That's a good point there. Hocevar win and Stenhouse top 10. Wow. John Little, that's spicy. Starting us off. Mike D has Cindric top 10, Moffitt top 5, Herta outright. Oh, man. I don't hate that one. Scotty Mack top 3, Hocevar top 5, Reddick top 5. I think Hocevar has a chance to be really good this weekend, but I just don't know if I trust him in a parlay. I don't know if I can put my trust in Carson Hocevar in a parlay this weekend. Justin Haley top 10. Wow, okay. Haley top 10, Herta top 5, Sammy Smith top 5, 56-1 on Caesars. Wow. I don't hate that one. Alex Armstrong has Barry top 3, Gibbs top 5, and Cup and Herta to win. $100 wins $10,000. I like Ty Gibbs in Cup. He came here last year in like his third start in the Cup Series. Got a top 10. We talk about Toyota. Got a really good finish at Pocono. Similar. Kind of similar. Not hugely similar, but speed is speed. Toyota has it. Ty Gibbs had it a few weeks ago. I don't hate that one. We're going to put that one in. That's going to be the first one in the poll. Barry top 3. Because I love Josh Berry this weekend. Gibbs top 5. Like it. Probably get some good value there, even on an outright. So that'll be the first parlay. I need more parlays, boys. Let's get it. I need more parlays for the poll, and we're gonna vote on the best one. I'll scroll up here and see some of these other parlays. Jamie, I see that comment. Looks at my current 24-bet card for Sunday after Dale says not to rush. Jamie's on that fucking that chopper shit, dude. Except Jamie actually probably put his own money on it, unlike Chopper's fake bets. Clout Chop, you guys know it. The gospel in the Discord. Hashtag Clout Chop. Shake These has Scotty Mack win, Jones top 3, McDowell top 5. On Tipico, good lord, 1160-1. That's crazy. That's a little too crazy. Let me scroll up here. Bushwind, like I said, yeah, I'm not gonna do SRX because it starts in like 1 minute. All right, if we don't have any more parlays, we got 1 minute for SRX. We don't have any more parlays. I'm just going to pick this parlay. I like it. My parlay is a little more conservative. This is your spicy parlay. This is basically your 100-1 parlay. And what is this on? DraftKings? Okay. That's what we're going to do. Guys, I want to watch SRX. We're yawning over here. The parlay energy is not there. That's fine. We're sweeping the rust off. That's fine. I'll expect it next week when we come back here on Dalescenter. But you see the Tanhart Triple Crown. No top plays in this episode because we're going to be a smart bettor from now on. We're going to be smart. And we're not going to hammer all these little bets thinking it's all a good line and you're getting the closing line value. Fuck all that. I'm here to win, and that's it. And that's what you need to be doing too. But, Jamie, I'm with you. 24 bets. It's kind of funny that you said that. But, hey, look, guys, I appreciate you. We're riding with Alex Armstrong this week for the Dalescenter Community Parlay. The Barry top 3, Ty Gibbs top 5, and a Herta W on DraftKings Sportsbook. Essentially 100-1. Frisky parlay. Put $1 on it, $5 on it. Don't spend a lot. And who knows? We're due for a Dalescenter Community Parlay hit. I'll go ahead and tell you that. We are more than due. So let's ride that heading into the weekend along with the Tanhart Triple Crown and be following me on the Action Network app, on Twitter, on Instagram. Join the Garage Guys Discord so you can be up to date on all the betting analysis and picks podcasts that we give out. Once we get some track time, the betting cards will be flowing in the Discord and on Twitter. And I might post it on Instagram too. We'll see. I kind of go hit and miss on that. Try to draw more people into our large, massively growing community in the Garage Guys Racing Discord, Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Discord. What is it called? It's the still Garage Guys. It's just Garage Guys. Garage Guys Discord. How about that? Simplify, right? We talk about simplifying. Let's simplify the name. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you all for being here tonight. Welcome back to Dalescenter. It's been fun. Roto Doc, special thanks to him for the IndyCar bets. You see the SRX bets. Good luck. Posted them in the Garage Guys Discord and talked about them here. And yeah, that's a show. I'm going to head to the living room, grab some popcorn, cold Busch Light, and I'm going to watch the motherfucking show, Thursday Night Thunder at Berlin Raceway. So appreciate you guys. Good luck this weekend. Let's ride these bets. Let's get more and more profit built up. We're going to be smart from now on. Let's be smart motherfucking bettors, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all.